Hey, this is Ming Tsai. I'm in the Bing kitchen at Blue Ginger, which is the kitchen for our lounge. And I'm going to show you how you do one of my favorite dishes I learned from childhood. It's called red roast duck. Both my grandparents and my parents used to cook this dish. It's really simple for all you guys out there to do at home, so check it out. Lots of ingredients go in, but once you get into the pot, it's a one-pot dish. What's in this dish? Well, you have garlic, so fresh garlic. You have Thai bird chilies, which have great heat. Cinnamon stick, also called cassia. Star anise, which has a nice licorice quality to it. Fresh ginger root. Scallions. Rock candy, which incidentally as a kid I used to eat all the time as a candy itself. We have a bunch of liquids. You have regular naturally brewed soy sauce. You have dark soy sauce, which is used especially for braising. Shaoxing wine, which is a Chinese rice wine, also can substitute using sherry, and red wine. And then, of course, on top of that, you have the hero, which is a whole duck. And you can buy these at any grocery store. You can also do this recipe with just duck legs, but I like using a whole duck. There's a significance actually with the whole duck, because during the Chinese New Year, for example, you cook whole duck and whole fish and whole chicken, because it signifies good luck and wholeness and fidelity into the new year. So all you're going to do is throw all this into the pot. So here's the garlic halved. I'm going to take the cinnamon, the Thai bird chilies, and the star anise. Take a nice ginger root like this. All you need is a couple just slices. This has been washed, but since it's going to be braised, you don't need to worry about taking the peel off. All right, so take some of these nice big slices. I'm going to take some scallion here. I'm going to first just rough chop these scallions. Again, guys, this is all being braised, all right? So it doesn't matter what it looks like. But at the very end, I got some of these greens. I'm just going to do just a little smaller slices. I just want a little bit that I'm going to save in a little bowl here, because this is going to be for garnish, all right? So that's about as fancy as we're going to get with scallions. Just a little bit. That goes in. All the scallions. You might think this is a lot of raw candy, but we have a lot of salt with all the two soy sauces, so the salt and the sugar will balance itself out. Now the two soy sauces, the regular and the dark. Then some Shaoxing. Again, you can use sherry if you don't have Shaoxing wine. A couple cups. And then a good drinkable red cooking wine. All right? Now it's important that you bring this to a simmer, because you want the red roast liquid to dissolve all of the sugar. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. It's only going to take about 5 minutes for the sugar to dissolve. Then we add the duck. All right? So we're just going to hang out until this dissolves. All right, so once all the sugar is dissolved, you take your whole duck. And by the way, duck sometimes has fat here on the inside. You just take that out. You don't need it, because you're going to end up skimming it out anyway, so you might as well take it out. And this whole duck goes right in. Put it in gently. Push it down. And I have about 1 inch of air, so I want to add water, because I want to make sure this duck is completely covered with the liquid. Give it a good stir. Now what you're going to do is a secret that we used to do, because the duck will float, is you just take another pot filled with just tap water and you lay it right on top to keep the duck fully submerged. All right? So you're basically done. This dish is done. This is going to take about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how large your duck is. And you'll see, once it's done, you just bring it to a simmer, let it go really slowly, and you'll have the best hong shao ya, which literally means red roast duck, which again for Chinese New Year is significant, because red is a very victorious color, and it's a color of good fortune and good luck. So let's wait about a couple hours and see what we got. All right, so after about 2.5 hours or so, you can check your duck. And as always, guys, make sure you taste your braising liquid. I tasted it right when this duck went in. I'm going to taste it again. I love that, because the way the liquid tastes is exactly how the duck's going to taste. So this has to taste good. What does it taste like? It's sweet with the raw candy. It's salty from the soy sauce. You got the red wine, the Shaoxing. It's awesome. Bok Choy, one of my favorite vegetables. Very inexpensive. Again, for Chinese New Year, bok choy is often used because green is the color of money. So might as well eat something that's good luck and good fortune. So I'm cutting the bok choy in half. There's this core here, and you kind of take that core out, and you really want to make sure these have been rinsed really well, and you want to look in because sometimes sand gets caught inside the bok choy. Obviously, you don't want any grit or any sand, so it's important you really rinse the bok choy well. And what we're going to do is the last 10 minutes of cooking, you add the bok choy. Bok choy does not need that long to cook, so 10 minutes, it'll be nice and soft. It just gives you a nice extra kind of veg to the dish. So just right into the pot with the duck. What I like to do is sweet potatoes. My grandfather actually, back in China, sweet potatoes were quite rare, and you can actually buy them on the street roasted like this. What we've done is this was actually just wrapped in foil, like you know I do mashed potatoes, and baked them all the way through, and I'm just going to scoop them out and kind of put a pile on this. And I'll show you how you do that. It's very easy. Just put a nice slice through it, open them up, get your spoon. You guys, you're cooking for home, right? This is country food. We're not trying to be fancy here. So, and it doesn't matter what this looks like on this plate because it's going to be covered with a beautiful looking duck. And you want it nice and soft. And by the way, you know sweet potatoes are one of the best root vegetables for you. Eat sweet potatoes, especially like this when they're not fried. Very healthy. And more importantly, sweet and tasty. All right, so 3 potatoes should be enough. And just make a pile like that. All right? All right, let's go ahead and plate this up. So we have our sweet potatoes here. This is a great tool. This is called a spider. You can get them in Chinatown. Yeah, you can get big strainers too. I find that a spider really works well because you really want to get under the duck. It's really delicate, so you got to kind of move with some speed because you want to get the duck right on those sweet potatoes like that. All right, and we have this wonderful bok choy, and you have all this sauce, which is fine because you want to serve the sauce with the sweet potatoes. Get your bok choy, surround your duck with your bok choy. You have no idea how good this smells here. All right, get the bok choy, and look, if you have a couple pieces of ginger that go into it, that don't sweat it, that's fine. Just let your guests know, especially if it's the Thai bird chilies, don't eat a whole Thai bird chili. All right, so we got that beautiful sauce and broth. Just give it a quick wipe. Oh my God, it smells so good. And then you recall we did the scallions in advance, right? So just a little bit more of your scallion greens on top. Woo, doggy, how does that look? Tell you. The only thing you need more is a good wine. This one, Jean-Luc Colombo, is a wonderful Syrah, or Shiraz, as it's called in the Western world. Should be fantastic with this. Now I'm going to go ahead and just show you what happens with this duck. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but like, I'm going to just take a little piece here. Dip it in the soy. Oh, that's so good. Sweet, salty, a little bit of wine. Oh, it's the best part of my job. As always, thanks for watching, and peace and good eating.